Okay, so the drawing we're going to do now is the Raft Foundation. We're going to do it scale 1:10, and we're going to put a concrete floor on top with a standard cavity wall with a footpath on the outside. So to start, we are going to draw in the wall, both the internal and external wall. And in this instance, we are going to start at the top of the wall, not the bottom. So ten, 15 and 10. And we are going to come down 160 mil. For the first wall, or the external wall. And for the internal wall, we are going to come down 135 mil. Okay. The insulation is also down at the 135 mil also. Okay, so what I would like you to do now is hatch the external block wall, the internal block wall, and the insulation. Next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to draw in the foundation. So it's a Raft Foundation. Come down 300. To come over. Come over slightly past the wall. The foundation out. I'm going to come down 200 in this instance. We'll draw this line nice and lightly. That's going to cut off at a 45 degree line, as you can see. Rub out this unwanted line in here. Rub out that little unwanted line in there for me too. Okay, so I want you to go and do that. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the hardcore underneath. So just going to offset this line here. Okay, and we're going to take this down here. Out to the right hand side, and we're going to see that this entire section here is all hardcore, which is crushed graded stone, and on top of that then we will put our footpath. Okay, so this is 10 millimeters. It doesn't matter how far you come down here. Okay, so I want you to hatch this in. Okay, we're going to divide this up into 15. We'll actually divide this up into 20s. And the last one. Okay. Alright, so I want you to hatch that up and down with 60-degree lines. We're also going to hatch this. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is put in the floor. So we're going to put in some sand, some 10 mil for the insulation, and another 10 mil for the concrete. So your sand in first. Your insulation and the concrete. And on top of the insulation, sorry, on top of the sand, we have our radon or a DPM coming across. Just give a little bump in the T-square here. Have to down across here. Down here and across there. Okay, and I want you to hatch that for that to be insulation, and I want to hatch that is concrete. And the other small, least little piece of vertical insulation here as well. And we also want to do then the internal plaster, the external render, and the skirting board in. Okay, so I want you to hatch all the rest of that. The other thing that I want you to put in is I want you to put in your DPC, which goes up 150 from ground level. So this is up 150. Okay, so from there to there is 150 minimum. Okay, so hatch, 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 and hatch, and we will also put in a wall tie in here. Okay. Okay, so just hatch it all and label all the different parts for me. So just looking at the different, this is the drawing completed then again. So you're labeling 7 different parts at this instance. Remember the parts, I'm going to focus in on them a little bit more for you. Okay. So the parts are 115mm hardcore, a step reinforced foundation, radon barrier and sand, damp proof coat, 100mm of rigid insulation, 75mm of concrete screed, and it's a 350mm standard cavity wall with 100mm of insulation. Okay, so that's your Raft Foundation completed. So make sure it's labelled, make sure it's rendered, and make sure that it's hatched and that it's coloured in. Okay.